Hello and welcome to another RPG Architect tutorial. Today we're going to talk about parallax map sampling, or basically creating a map from a fixed image and then having multiple layers. Let's go ahead and start. This is definitely not the second time I've recorded this because of prior mic issues. So first off, we want to go ahead and start off with some tile sets, right? So we want to create a tile set. But before that, let's go ahead and show what we have, right? So I opened my directory to show what I have, and here are my tiles. So I have essentially 3 layers and then a collisions layer. So I have a bottom layer. This is a big image, 1280 by 1800. This is the middle image, right? The base layer. And the upper image, right, which consists of treetops. This one has treetops as well as some trunks, and the bottom layer has grass, okay? We also have a collisions image as well, which is a very simple 64 by 32. This actually isn't needed, but if you want to be more fine-tuned on your collisions, you can do it that way too. I'll show you both ways. Alright, so let's go back to our database, right? We're going to call this forest scene. Now, everything is going to fall under this normal tile sets. So I'm going to go ahead and have 4 because there are these 3 layers, but plus 1 for collisions. So I'm going to go ahead and assign the collisions to this. As you can see, you can't see anything because it's transparent, but we expect that, right? And I want to go ahead and assign one of them to have colliders on it so that you can't actually pass it up. Alright, so let's go to the next one. We're going to go ahead and use our bottom right there. Not divisible by 32 because it's 1800 tall, but width left to right is good. We're going to see the exact same problem with the middle. That same warning message, we can just go ahead and disregard it. And then for the third one, we're going to have the top, okay, which consists of the tops of our trees. Okay, looks good. So, now that we have this, there are 2 ways we can do this, right? So, we can either use collisions here, or we can go ahead and define collisions inside this. Oop. Interesting that it's not showing the grid lines. That's definitely not a bug. Alright, so collisions, I could manually put them in like this, right? And that works, but you don't have control of having flood fill and rectangle tools, so I'm actually not going to do it this way. But you could, and then you could forego the entire collisions tile set entirely. That would work all the same. Okay. So we have this. Hit OK. Now, because I need to create my map. We're going to call this map, we'll call it forest scene. And I'm going to go ahead and resize it. And definitely because I'm not doing this for a second time now, I don't know that the exact dimensions to fit are 40 by 56. Cool. So here we go. On my base height, I'm going to go ahead and set my party position into the middle. Let's go back here. And I'm going to turn on layer assist mode because this helps understand kind of where everything is. Okay, so I'm going to use these normal tiles. I'm going to zoom out. And for my ground layer, I want to drop down just a ton of grass tiles in. If I really wanted, I could probably make it something a little more interesting. I don't know if these are varied at all. We'll pretend they are. I think they are, actually. Okay, so we have our ground layer. We have our base layer. So I'm going to scroll down to our base layer. I'm going to have to expand this to make it a little bigger so it all fits. So I'm going to try to draw all of that here. Close. There we go. So we've got that as well. Although it's looking kind of unusual. I'm running a debug build, so please have a little patience because this is not necessarily the best way to do this. Okay, so we got this guy. Here we go. Oh, and I have eraser turned on, that's why it's not drawing. There we go. And I need to put this last row in here because I was silly and forgot it. Right there. Now, we're going to scroll down some more. We're going to go to our upper layer. An important thing is we want to make sure that this is actually above the character, so we're going to go ahead and put that there like that. So I'm going to select all of this and draw this in. There you go. So now we have our 3 layers. You can see with that layer assist mode, that's extremely helpful. From here now, let's go ahead and we're going to create one more additional layer. It is visible, but we're going to call this layer our collision layer. There we go. So we have a collision layer now. And the reason I'm doing this is it actually makes it very easy now to use these 2 tiles right up here at the top. They're passable and not passable. So if I do collision visualization, you don't see it here, but you will see it here. So on the collision layer, I can go ahead and start drawing in this. Now, without this setting on, you're not going to see anything because they're just transparent tiles, right? But with the collision visualization, I can. So now I have access to all these other tools that make this a lot more useful for me, right? So here I'm going to go ahead and draw essentially our collidable areas. Here we go here. Fill in a little bit. I'm just drawing into my heart's content, guys. There is nothing super crazy or perfect about this. There are probably numerous other ways to make this a little better. So, just for the sake of demonstration. There you go. So now we essentially have a perimeter defined. I'm going to go ahead and put this one here just in case there's a little bit of weird clipping. Okay. So now we have an outline, so the character can walk in here. If I really was so well inclined, I could fill all of that in, so I have all the collisions defined. And I already started my character right here. It's pretty crazy to see all that, right? Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and play. I'm going to go ahead and drag the image over, and now you can see all the different layers are at play here. And the collisions that I manually created are going to show up in just a second, right here. Yep, see? Can't go over there. And as I approach the bottom, any day now,
a few moments later,
we can go ahead and see that some things will render above the character. Which is nice, because we want these trees to be above the character. Just like that. Look at that. I can't go down any further. Trees render on top. That looks pretty good. So what we've done is essentially built a map from 3 static images. We're going to go ahead and show one alternative way that we can also create some non-tile based shapes. So let's go ahead and dig in. So immediately you can see that it was edited because I removed my layer, but I'll save, so we're starting nice and clean. From here, we're going to go to the database and our tile sets for forest scene. Now, this collisions layer we don't care about anymore. We're going to actually create a new collisions. So I'm going to open up paint.net one more time. And I'm going to make, very quickly, a collision itself, right? So we're going to go ahead and delete everything here because we want transparent tiles like we had before. And now we're going to go ahead and make some colliders. So we're going to go ahead and resize this to, since our tiles are 32 by 32, we're going to do 64 by, let's go 128. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and save this here. We're going to say collision structure. Okay. Alright, so the purpose of this now is that we need to create a new structure. We'll go ahead and collision structure. And again, you can't see anything because it's transparent. You'll see right here that it's not quite exactly what you'd expect. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to say wall height is 1, because our standard terraforming colliders or tile sets are going to go ahead and be 3 vertically and 2 sideways. So wall height of 1, unit height of 1. If you've seen any of Bert's tutorials, you'll understand why. And I'm going to say OK. So now I'm going to go ahead and create one more layer at 0 on the upper. And what I would like to do is use this structural tile set right there. And you'll see it selected here. So what I need to do, I'm going to do layer assist mode. And for the sake of it also, I am actually going to go ahead and alter that image one more time. So eventually this will be a little bit better, because I'd like to eventually introduce boundaries, but we're just not there yet. So we'll go ahead and do this. Actually, let's go ahead and change the alpha for this so that it's a little less, yeah? Perfect. So now it's partially transparent, so we can see this now. So when I come here now, you'll see that this is partially transparent, just like we kind of expect. I can start drawing on this layer. I can try to. Now let's go ahead and applying all of that there. Yep, there we go. We can see it now. So I'm only going to do part of this because there's more that can be done. I'll let you use your own imagination for some of this. So now that we've got this, and we have layer assist mode, I'm going to go ahead and force height visibility, force shape visibility, so that I can see both. And again, I'm on this, we'll call this collision layer. Okay. So now, what I would like to do, by default these should all be set to 1 anyways, but what I would do is I'd fill it in. And then I can use my shapes. So, I'll go ahead and apply that there and there. Let's go ahead and select our normal brush here. Put one here, and here for good measure. Now we'll go ahead and do this one here too. There we go. And then we're also going to apply some right here and here, here, here. So now you can see we have this piece here like this. Kind of wraps around. Makes an interesting shape, yeah? So, if I run this now, one, I'm going to see some weirdness there with these shapes being drawn. But they should have the colliders that I'm hoping for. So we've got some non-standard colliders going on here. Yeah? Actually, I believe these are being shown in reverse for some reason. These should actually be southeast edge. These are reversed for some reason. We'll fix that. Next update. And our southeast, southeast, southeast. There we go. That looks good. Okay. We'll run this one more time. We'll actually get what we're expecting. There you go. Now you can see the outline edge. Alright, so we got this. Looks like I may have missed one. Let's see, we got this right here. So now I've got some non-standard boundaries, right? Now, just to finish it all up, let's go ahead and make sure we got this southwest edge, and I think this one was the one that was messed up. There we go. So now, just to finish it off, I'm going to open this back up, delete, save. So now we've got a transparent one. You can't see because it's not updated right here. But when you load the engine, Right there. Can't see anything. However, collisions are still there. Still bumping into things in a very non-linear fashion. Well, I shouldn't say non-linear, but non-tile-based fashion. And that's all there is to it. Hope that's helpful. Have a great day and enjoy using RPG Architect.
Hey Architects, Bert here. I just wanted to jump in real quick and say, well, first off, wasn't that a great tutorial by the man himself, Locke, the architect-in-chief, as it were? Yeah, really good stuff, but I just am jumping in here to say, be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below on if you're going to be using parallax mapping or not. Join the Discord, talk to us there. You can talk to Locke, you can talk to me, you can talk to the amazing community that we are building up. It's really starting to pick up some speed, and so I'm excited about that. Join our mailing list to stay up to date with all things RPG Architect. If you still haven't bought your copy of Architect, be sure to go to Steam and grab your copy while it's still in early access. You'll be getting it for half the price of what the final product will be, so why wait? Now's a great time to pick it up. Be sure to stay tuned for more great tutorials coming your way soon. Alright, I have been Bert, that other guy was Locke, and you have been amazing. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.